What's up, guys? Tyler Young coming at you, Great Performance this morning. I've had a pretty good response over the last couple weeks to these Strongman advice videos. So kind of along the same vein of the things we have been discussing as far as coaching and stuff like that, I thought that I would take a second today to kind of talk about the coach and athlete relationship. So the first topic that I want to cover and I want to touch on is the difference between a programmer and a coach. So anybody can write programming. I mean, like, my son is 4, and if I needed him to, he could tell me what to do in the gym. But what you're really looking for coach-wise is somebody who can analyze your movement patterns and put you in the right positions. Those of you who follow me on Instagram and Facebook know that I'm pretty vocal about a handful of local trainers that have, various certifications and no real basis in reality or whatever. And that's because they're unable to develop, they're unable to develop themselves into being great athletes. They're unable to develop their clients into being great athletes without constantly worrying about injuries or stuff like that. I saw a broad jump video the other day where it's a 17 or 18-year-old kid. He goes to do his broad jump. His knees almost touch each other in the front before he initiates his jump, and they just thought that was okay, and they were so proud of it, in fact, that they posted it on their Facebook page, and then they kept it moving. So more so than that, make sure that you know what you're looking for, because there's no reason for you as a consumer to be paying coaches rates if you're just looking for programming. I even turn out free programming on Strengthly Collective, and there is a myriad of free resources on there, and even the payment resources like Bless This Press by Nick Canby and the Deadlift Prep by Anthony Furman and stuff like that. I mean, you're looking at $25, $30 a month for solid programming, right? You're not getting the one-on-one interaction and the video review and stuff like that you would be from a regular online coach, but you're getting a lot of valuable insight. You know what I mean? So know where you fit in pecking order wise. If you're just getting started in the sport, I definitely suggest an actual coach. And even if that's not me, I mean, there is a ton of quality and competent coaches in the sport. But as people progress and they hone their craft and they get better at coaching, right, you may see and you may expect to have to pay a little bit more for said experience. So when I first got started, I was charging like $40, $50 a month. And that was for like as intensive as you wanted me to be. And I tell clients this all the time. I'm as involved or as uninvolved as you want me to be. It's not my responsibility to chase you down and make sure you're doing your lifts. It's your responsibility to reach out to me and tell me if, I talked about it in the previous video. If life is dictating your training, take a step back, then you need to be able to verbalize that with your coach. You shouldn't be going 2 or 3 weeks without checking in, because again, you're paying for a service. And my service is, best taken advantage of when you're doing your due diligence to reach out. It's not my responsibility or any coach's responsibility to babysit you and drag you to the gym and drag you through your workouts and stuff like that. There has to be a symbiosis in the relationship. So make sure that you know what you're in for. So I have several clients right now, and it's kind of like a bell curve, right? So I have people that have been with me for a while, and they're essentially paying for programming right now, but they also came in at a much lower price point. They know that I'm here if they want me to watch videos. They know that any questions that they ask, that I'll try to come up with an answer for them, but relatively they're pretty self-sufficient. They just want a video or they just want a workout that they can follow regularly. They don't have to worry about where their next program's coming from or anything like that, because they know that I'm going to consistently push fresh workout to them. Sorry about that. So moving on from there, make sure you get your money's worth if you are paying for a coach. A lot of coaches tout response time, but I can't tell you how many prospective clients get in my inbox and they talk about that they haven't heard from their coach in 2-3 months. They haven't changed their workouts. They haven't, adjusted around vacations. They haven't changed their diet. That's horseshit, guys. I mean, us as coaches, we should do better. You shouldn't have clients feel afraid to ask you questions, and B, that they are a nuisance, and I understand, like, trust me, I get some I get some questions sometimes that would really make you like facepalm. But they are paying me for a service, so no matter what the questions are, it's my responsibility to, you know, give that sort of response, even if I've already answered it numerous times. But, you know, there has to be some sort of symbiosis. So from there, make sure that your questions are worthwhile. If there's people in my inbox, in which there are a lot of people in my inbox that have programmers as coaches, right? But they're coming to me for video review because maybe they're paying for a name or something like that. Whatever their decision is, that's not my responsibility. But sometimes, you know, friends or otherwise, people come to me and ask me all sorts of questions and send me videos, which, you know, it's fine to a certain point. But make sure, you guys, as prospective clients, make sure you're doing your due diligence to know that there are people, myself, I'm not one of them yet, hopefully maybe one day, but there are people that do this, you know, for a living to pay their bills. So when you're taking up their time in their inbox, make sure that they're compensated as such. And I know in the past that I've been, you know, very, very giving with information, and that's fine, and that's what we definitely need to grow the sport. But I'm talking like months and months of, you know, answering questions and, you know, going over training modalities and, you know, if I had an opinion on what percentages they needed to be hitting for work sets and this, that, and the other. So in the last, you know, couple months, I've kind of curtailed that because, you know, as my client numbers rise, those people will always take priority to the people that are in the inbox just asking questions. And again, I have no problem answering those questions a lot of times, but make sure that if people have a paid service, and again, this isn't just for me, I'm sure that there are other coaches across the sport that feel this way too, make sure that you're compensating them for their time. So that's kind of all I'm going to talk about today to kind of close. This is going to be like a series of videos, if you will. But the thing I want to hold you, or the thing that I want to leave you guys with today is, if you do hire a programmer or coach, and even if that's me, make sure you hold them accountable. If you're not getting the response time, and I don't mean like 7 minutes, like I tell my clients, like programming always pushes by Sunday around lunchtime. And ask me those questions as soon as you get your programming. You should always check it that day. That way you can hit me with any questions. That way I have enough time to get you your responses. And it's the same thing for the other coaches. So don't block them into a box of, I need to know this answer in the next 5 minutes, because that's unrealistic. But if you're asking these questions and it's taking them a week or 2 weeks to get back to you, that's completely unacceptable. So be able to speak up and hold your coach accountable. Because, you know, at the end of the day, you're paying for a service. And a lot of people, I know across the sport, charge upwards of $200-$300 a month for their programming. And I would feel very frustrated if I, you know, was getting left on red or getting ghosted by somebody that I was giving that sort of money to. So, with that said, again, Tyler Young coming at you, Grade 8 Performance. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully going to start releasing more and more content as my schedule frees up some. So, have a good day.